Antonio Cromo, the Ohio Terrorizer, the Toledo Slapper. All these names belong to one man, a man who committed 20 murders in a 6-year period, becoming one of the most profound serial killers in Ohio history. This man was finally brought down in the year 2000, but you will find out how this man was apprehended, all in this documentary right now. Hello, I'm Detective Waller. I'm the man who arrested the Toledo Slapper. It was a fall evening, early October. The Toledo Slapper was a man, he was just a disgusting man. He's probably the worst man that ever was in this town. And I can't believe there's ever a human being like this guy. You know, for 6 long years, this man just walked up, you know, to homes, to people, and he just slapped them. He just slapped them. And you know what? It disgusts me. You know how many, like, you know how many men and women and children's bodies I've seen because of this just disgusting man who had a backhand like your mother. I mean, wow, this man could go off. You know, we got a call and we're like, hey, you know, we think we found that serial killer, because, you know, it was a woman's voice, and she, you know, she was crying and all this, you know. I mean, this guy just slapped her goldfish into like and you know, he slapped it so hard the fish cooked. I don't understand it at all, but you know, we had a nice meal when we got there. Anyway, you know, we got the call, we saw the slapper, we're like, oh great. So me and my partner pulled out our tasers and, well, we thought he was gonna go down. But he didn't. He managed to pull the tasers out. He jumped through the window. We were on the 2nd story. He jumped out of the window and he ran. We pursued him for about 30 minutes. And eventually we caught up to him. This time, we didn't pull any punches and we shot him in the knees. And well, that's all it took, and we took him into custody.
You know, the Toledo Slapper is just so scary. He was in my house. He was, you know, he slapped my husband to death, slapped my kids to death. I had to call the cops and I had to just get rid of this man. And sorry, there's a lunatic behind the camera. I just couldn't deal with this. I just couldn't deal with it. I called the police. They came in. I saw them tase this man, and he jumped out the window. He jumped out the window. I didn't even know what to do. I was so full, you know, just fueled by fear that I just couldn't, I just couldn't do anything. I couldn't emote, I couldn't do anything. There's tears and snot just coming all out of my face holes. I mean, I just realized that I have a beard. Anyway, yeah, you know, I don't know. The whole night was just a whole mess. You know, the police didn't give me any money for kicking in my door, or, you know, the guy jumping out the window, or the fact he broke into another window. I don't know. But Toledo Slapper, you know, he just gets a thumbs down on my book. I mean, I lost my whole family that night, you know. I lost 6 of my kids and my husband. They're all slapped to death. And my whole entire life, I don't even know what to think anymore. That's why I grew a beard. I'm a bearded woman. I'm in the circus now. It's a whole thing. But hey, you know what? It's 2022. You do you.
I've never been so afraid in my life. I was only on my like 6th or 7th month on the job. We only get like 2 days of training as a police officer, so I was in this for the long haul. My partner was, you know, that man's fearless. That man was really fearless, but I was scared. I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, I couldn't even go to the bathroom. You know, just years at a time chasing the Toledo Slapper.
So anyway, you can buy my book, Life and Death by the Toledo Slapper by Sadie Matthews. It's a very, very good book. I think you're all going to enjoy it. You can hear I was absolutely tormented by the absolute thumbs down of a person. And you know what? I think my life is better, actually, after this whole situation. I don't have to care for anybody anymore. I still have the one kid that, was in college at the time, is alive. I don't talk to him anymore. I don't associate myself with my past. Buy my book.
But the pain is brought upon my life. I couldn't do anything. And I'm still on the force to this day. Detective Waller, he retired 6-7 years ago. And me, I don't know. I've just been chasing, chasing just having that big story, just like that was back in the day of the Toledo Slapper. But I remember the one night we got him, we tased him and that didn't work, shot him in the knees. I mean, I don't know. I think for me, I was never the same, but I think that fear went away. And a part of me has always wanted that fear back ever since then. I've been looking for it. It's like a bad drug, that fear. But I'm just really glad that we got the Toledo Slapper out of Toledo, and then we got him behind bars.
My cows. He obliterated my cows. I was just a humble farmer, a humble man with humble beginnings. I walk outside, my cows are all decapitated. Wanna know why? Because that Toledo Slapper slapped them off. He didn't come after me though. He ran away. He ran away. He saw me with 3 pitchforks in each hand, and he bolted. Now I'm a librarian. I'm not even in. I shouldn't be saying this, I'm anonymous. I'm not a librarian. I work at McDonald's. I'm a humble McDonald's worker, alright? I make 6 cents an hour, okay? And this man took my cows from me, and I hear he was shot in both knees. And what a great way to go down as one of the stupidest people I've ever come across in all my years. I mean, you got a guy like this, and a guy like this just needs to get going. Because nobody should be coming after my cows, especially not Betsy. Not Betsy the cow. Why? But it doesn't matter. Alright? I got new humble beginnings. I work at Wendy's. It's so great. I love coming in there every day. I love going on those roller skates and run out to all the cars. I really love my job at Sonic. It's always just so great.
So there was this man, I think it was like Miles or something, I don't know. I mean, this guy seemed like a bit of a whack job. I know one time he was calling, saying the suspicious man was across the street. I don't think this man ever actually saw the Toledo Slapper, but it really just comes to mind because in my mind this was a suspect, because this guy just seemed a little bit off. Now again, maybe he did see the Toledo Slapper, maybe he didn't. But the Toledo Slapper wasn't somebody to not claim as victim. Now I saw the Toledo Slapper, all right? I saw the Toledo Slapper. He was trying to get some money off of me. He wanted my dimes. I was gonna let this man get my dimes? No, not gonna happen. All right. This man, he went to slap me, but you better believe I slapped him back, and he started crying. He was on the ground in tears. He knew that my name, Miles Green. He feared me. I saw that boy tremble, all right? This man was only 6. I slapped a 6-year-old kid across the face. I can't believe a 6-year-old kid was the Toledo Slapper. He killed like 20-some people in like 6 years. I mean, a child? Really? Wow. Whoa, man. So, some people think I'm nuts because, apparently I have broken sunglasses. What's broken about these? I got 2 lenses, it's not cracked at all. It looks great. It looks great. Isn't that right, random person? Yeah, see? I'm not nuts. I had some people questioning me, thinking I was the Toledo Slapper, but I'm like, no. Just because I slapped a kid across the face doesn't make me a Toledo Slapper. It just makes me a hero, because that kid was the real scum, right? Now, apparently they let this kid go and all this jazz, and quite frankly, I know he was the guy. But, you know, once we got him in custody, I mean, he had to be treated for the wounds in his knees, of course, but, you know, once we started talking to him, you know, a few of the other guys in the department, you know, they try to give him a crack, he finally talks to me. I try to be the guy's friend. He spills all the beans. And this guy put up such a great front. Like, I mean, this guy should have been winning an Academy Award or something, but he tells this to me and I believe him. I believe him. Like, you know, there's so many people trying to say they're the guy or they're the girl or they're whoever. But I look this guy in the eyes and I feel like I can see his soul, and I knew that there was something wrong. So, admittedly, you know, I had a cold sweat running down my cheek when we got into interrogation. I met the man. I met the Toledo Slapper. And he was telling me in great detail, you know, how the slap went for each victim, you know, how much wind-up he got, how much of the person's blood got on him, and, you know, all this stuff. And it's just, this is so gruesome, because this is a town where I get a bit of murder here and there, I get a bit of drugs here and there, you know? But something on such a scale, the 20 plus murders this man committed in 6 years, it was gross, it was disgusting. I saw this man, and I knew that shooting him in the knees, you know, it made me feel so much better. So much better. I'm Gerald Mayfield. I tanked a slap from the Toledo Slapper. He slapped me in the face and I said no. You know, this man killed so many people when I happened to survive. But truth be told, I can't see anymore. You know? I can't see anymore, and that's just the bad part. Like, I don't even know exactly where the camera is or not. I hope I'm looking into it right now. I'm not too sure. Yeah, you know, I was just trying to live my life. All of a sudden, you know, I come home late at night from my job. I work at a casino, or I did, and I just see this hand come around the corner. And I got hit so hard in the face, I thought I was done. I stumbled backward, but then I realized I was alive. I heard a gasp. I just heard a gasp. And then I heard a door fly open, and then all of a sudden I was safe. You know? My cat Samuel was alright. Heard the meowing. Seemed fine. Everything was alright.
How many fingers am I holding up?
How many fingers are you holding up? I have no idea. I can't see. I told you that. How do you expect me to know? I'm not gonna know. This is, you know what? This is actually really insensitive of you. Just coming after me like this, I don't really appreciate it. Alright? I'm a victim. I'm a victim of a slap. How many people can say that they've been slapped and lived? Not many. So the Toledo Slapper, we identified him when we had him in custody. His name was Antonio Cromwell. A 39-year-old male. He moved around a lot, you know. His parents were in the Navy, and, you know, he just had a rough life. So when you see somebody like this, it's never really a true surprise that they do stuff like this. You know, they're not given a real big chance in life, and honestly, it's really depressing, you know, to see something like this happen, because you just know if this kid just had, you know, right opportunities when he was younger, that he might have had a chance to succeed, and he wouldn't have done such brutal things to so many people, even fish. So yeah, that was the story of the Toledo Slapper, you know. I mean, I don't even know if you can call him a man, because, you know, he just seemed to be so much more than that. I've never seen somebody slap so many people and just end their lives. And I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life, which probably won't be too long because, you know, I'm an ex-police officer who is severely depressed.